My presentation today is on gay marriage in the United States. Of what we are going to be discussing today. When looking at gay marriage in the United States and around the world, historically it has gone hand in hand with moral panic. Who decides what is good and what is morally wrong? Starting with Illinois in 1961, the government did. In regards to the gay and lesbian population, 15 states subjected gay males and sometimes lesbian sexuality to criminal penalties. This is repeated throughout recent history. With the Clinton administration in the 1990s came the national attention on gays in the military and don't ask, don't tell policy, an official agreement to pretend not to recognize what was simultaneously being recognized. However, in 2010, Obama made it legal for all to serve in the military, regardless of sexual orientation. Is marriage a fundamental right? There are three distinct legal principles asserted by the courts that have made the recent Supreme Court decision inevitable. They are as follows. First, marriage is a valuable institution. The court has always shown a special reverence for marriage. It's generally regarded as a positive social good that the state should encourage. Secondly, the right to marry and to marry a person of one's choice is a fundamental right and necessary for the aspect of human happiness. And finally, gay people are actually both gay and free people, to whom the Constitution applies. The court's three most recent gay rights cases, each majority opinion, were meant to further include gays and lesbians as gays and lesbians, more fully and equally into the scheme of the constitutional protections. Vocabulary is oftentimes something one may not think of as important. A word is a word, right? When looking at the collective as opposed to an individual, however, all changes, attitudes, and laws find their basis for change in the conceptions, which typically come first as a single person offers a vocabulary that mirrors change. Gender roles have been slowly changing throughout the years. While the traditional roles have been clear in a marriage, males, husbands, are breadwinners, heads of household, the superior sex. Females, wives, are the homemakers and the inferior sex. These roles have been ever changing as women have gained the right to vote, rights within a marriage, joined the workforce, and so on. We have also seen males take more traditional female roles over the years, nursing, education, and at times having a lower income than their counterparts, and an increasing amount of stay-at-home dads. When there is a same-sex couple that marries, is there one that is assigned the breadwinning role, who is responsible for the domestic role? Previously conducted studies on same-sex couples which predate marriage have shown that while some do take on specific roles, the vast majority of research suggests that both the ideal and typical experience is sharing equality. The consideration needs to be made for these individuals in the workplace as to support their family obligation. Laws that protect the caregiver in the event of separation financially. Has always been a controversial topic. The question now is, should sexuality be addressed? Should the topic of gender identity be brought into the curriculum? While some may say that marriage is not taught in the schools, some may disagree. Sexuality is taught in the schools, heterosexuality that is. Is avoiding the topic as a whole to remain neutral? Really being neutral? Or is it supporting one side with silence? Mayo asserts that the silence is supporting one side. He states that when this is done, it represents a conscious decision on the part of the policymakers and school officials to prevent schools from becoming individuals in a fuller life of a diverse community. When looking at legal benefits of marriage, one of them has to do with tax filing. Same-sex couples are now allowed to file married filing jointly or married filing separately. This can be of great financial benefit. The National LGBTQ Task Force, founded in 1973, has a mission statement beginning with the following: "We're building a future where everyone is free to be themselves in every aspect of their lives." The task force was a leading supporter in the fight to marriage equality, organizing events and demonstrations in the support for such equality. Friday, June 26, 2015, the United States Supreme Court, with a 5-4 decision, ruled that allowing states to deny gay people the right to marry is a violation of the 14th Amendment. Following the decision, President Barack Obama tweeted, "Today is a big step in our march toward equality. Gay and lesbian couples now have the right to marry just like anyone else." Not everyone was celebrating, though. Mike Huckabee called it an out-of-control act of unconstitutional judicial tyranny. One might think that unconstitutional actions were in play long before recent decisions that Mike Huckabee is speaking of. Through preparation for this paper, a survey was conducted through social media, asking one simple question: what are your thoughts on the recent decision made in favor of gay marriage? The responses varied greatly. However, all of them did have an underlying theme that two people in love should be able to be together. There were a few respondents who feel that the LGBTQ population is forcing their lifestyle on them through actions, media, and campaigning for change. There were a few respondents who were lesbian and one who is married. Her response is the one that stood out the most. From a lesbian view for you, I believe that it should never have been an issue to start with. The separation of church and state should have said it all. I don't believe that it should be thrown in anyone's face for or against it, because it should have never existed. It is not about love when it comes to the law. It is about protection of life during and after any relationship. The LGBTQ population has experienced a great deal of oppression throughout the years, both systematic and institutional, as presented. As apparent through the presented material, the LGBTQ population has historically and is currently working for equality in all areas of life. While this population is experiencing more equality in a number of ways, there is still a long way to go. However, the right to marry in all 50 states in the United States is definitely something to celebrate.